Hello everyone, I am Deep Patel from the Department of Mechanical Engineering. Today we are going to start our new chapter, chapter number 13, that is the important engineering material. Okay, so in this chapter we will discuss about some important material which we generally use to making the engineering products. Okay, some materials are the ferrous materials, some materials are the non-ferrous materials, plastics, ceramics, all we will discuss in this chapter. Also, we will discuss about some properties of the material which is required. Okay, so in this lecture we will discuss about the classification of materials and the various kinds of the properties of the material. Okay, so let us start. So our first topic is the classification of the engineering materials. Okay, so generally the engineering materials are classified like metals or and their alloys, and second is the non-metals. Okay, so in the metals such as iron, steel, copper, aluminum, all this will discuss in this chapter. Such non-metals like ceramics, glass and plastic, that we will discuss in this chapter. Okay, so we will discuss about the metals and the non-metals. Now these metals can also be further classified into the two types. One is the ferrous metals and second is the non-ferrous metal. So in the ferrous metal, the iron is the major component and remaining silicon, magnesium, manganese, all are the minor elements. Okay, so this type of metals are known as the ferrous metals. Now second is the non-ferrous metal. So the non-ferrous metal which has other than the iron as a main constituent like aluminium, copper, zinc, etc. Okay, so we will discuss about the ferrous and non-ferrous metal in this chapter. Okay, now our next topic is the properties of the material. This is the most important topic that you have to understand. Okay, so the first property of the material is the strength. Now what is the meaning of strength? Strength is the ability of the material to resist the breaking under the action of the external load. Okay, so if we apply some load over the any element, then what happens? It will break after some times. Okay, so we can say that the ability of the material to resist the breaking, okay, under the load, that ability is known as strength. Okay, so strength is the basic property which is to be needed in all the material. Okay, next is the stiffness. Now what is the meaning of stiffness? We can say that the stiffness is the ability of the material to resist the deformation under the stress. The material which deforms less under the load, which is having the high degree of stiffness. Okay, so when we apply the load over any the material, then the material will be deformed up to the elastic limit. We know the stress strain diagram and we know about the Hooke's law. Okay, so all the material having some elastic limit. So up to the elastic limit it will deform, and after the removal of the load it will come into its original position. Okay, so we can say that the ability of the material to resist this deformation under the stress is known as the stiffness. Okay, now our third property is the hardness. So hardness is the ability of the material to resist the stretching, wear, penetration, abrasion, that is known as the hardness. Okay, so if we take any material and we rub it with a very hard material, then if there is not any kind of scratching or wear or penetration is occurs over the material, then we can say that it is the very hard material. Okay, so this is the basic definition of the hardness. Okay, now our next property is the ductility. So what is the meaning of ductility? Ductility is the property of the material undergo deformation under the tension without breaking. Okay, so when we apply the load or the tensile force over any body, then if the material can undergo the deformation, then we can say that the ductility is very high of that material. Let us take one example. The ductility of the copper is very high, so we can stretch the copper and we can convert the rod into the wire. Okay, so we can also say that ductility is the property of the material through which we can convert the rod we can convert the rod into the wire by stretching it, okay, or by applying the tensile force over it. Okay, so this is the simple definition of the ductility. So the aluminum having the higher ductility, the copper having higher ductility, so we can generate the wires from the rod. Okay, so this is the ductility. Now our next property is the brittleness. Okay, so we can say that brittleness is the property of the material by virtue of which it will fracture without the appreciable deformation. Okay, so when we apply load over the brittle material, what happens? It will not deform. Okay, it will ultimately breaks. So the deformation cannot be possible in the case of the brittle material. Okay, so we can say that the fracture point and the yield point or the elastic point is the same in the case of the brittle material. Okay, so it will not deform. Next is the toughness. So what is the toughness? Toughness is the property of the material to resist the fracture due to high impact load like hammer blow, and it absorbs a certain amount of the energy. Okay, so let us take one example. If you take one element and you apply the impact load over the element, then the energy which is absorbed by this element is known as the toughness. Okay, or we can say that in the stress strain diagram, the area under the breaking point, that is known as the toughness. Okay, so the energy which is stored in the material due to impact load, that energy or that type of energy is known as the toughness. Okay, now our next property is the malleability. Now what is the meaning of malleability? Malleability is the property of material to withstand the deformation under the compression without fracture. Okay, so let us take one example to understand the malleability. Simple, we can say that the malleability is the property through which we can hammer over the element and we can convert the entire box or entire the blooms and billets into the thin sheets. Okay, so this is the simple property that is called malleability. Okay, so let us take on an example of the aluminium. Aluminium having the high malleability, so we can convert the blooms of the aluminium into the thin rolled sheet. Okay, so we can say that the malleability is the property of the material through which we can convert the blooms and billets into the thin rolled sheet by applying the compression load. Okay, so the aluminum having the higher malleability. Now you can get confused about the ductility and the malleability. Simple, ductility is the property in which we are going to apply tension over the element, and due to the tensile force it was converting into the thin wires. Okay, and in the malleability we are going to apply the compression load, and due to the compression load the blooms and the billets are converting into the thin sheets. Okay, so this is the simple difference between the ductility and the malleability. Okay, so both are important. Now our next property is the elasticity. So what is the meaning of elasticity? We can say that the elasticity is the ability of the material to regain its original shape after deformation when the external load is removed. Okay, so we know that when we apply the load over the any element, it will deform up to the elastic limit. Okay, and after that we are going to remove the load, then the material will regain its original shape. Okay, so this is done because of the elasticity, and this property is known as the elasticity. Okay, next is the plasticity. Now what is the meaning of plasticity? Plasticity is the ability of the material to be permanently deformed without fracture even after removal of the load. Okay, so we know that in the stress strain diagram up to the elastic limit the material will be deformed. If we apply more load than the elastic limit, then the material will be permanently deformed. Okay, so we can say that the plasticity is the ability of the material to make permanent deformation after removal of the load. Okay, so generally this plasticity is the most important property in the case of forging. Okay, so in the case of the metal forming, we are producing high strength component because of this property, that is the plasticity. Okay, so it is the most important property. Okay, next is the resilience. Now what is the meaning of resilience? resilience is the ability of the material to absorb or to store the energy or to resist the stroke and the impact load. Okay, so we can say that when we apply the load over any body, the energy will be stored inside the body. That energy is known as the resilience. Now, probably you are confused between the resilience and the toughness. In the toughness, we are going to provide impact load, and up to the fracture point, the energy is stored into the material. That energy is known as the toughness. Now, in the resilience, we are going to provide the load over the material, but within the elastic limit or up to the elastic point, the energy which is stored into the material, that is known as the resilience. So there is a difference between the resilience and the toughness. In the resilience, the energy is stored up to the elastic limit, and in the toughness, the energy is stored up to the fracture limit. Okay, so this is the difference between resilience and toughness, that you have to remember. Okay, now next is the creep. So we can say that when a part is subjected to the constant stress at high temperature for the long period of time, it will undergo a slow and permanent deformation, which is known as the creep. Okay, so when we apply constant stress over any element at higher temperature or at constant temperature, then we can say that the deformation will be occurs on that part, that is known as the creep, and after a certain time it will fail, that is known as the creep failure. Okay, so this is the simple meaning of the creep. Okay, now next is the thermal conductivity. So we can say that the thermal conductivity is the ability of the material to conduct the amount of heat per unit area per unit time. Okay, so this is the simple meaning of thermal conductivity. We know that the thermal conductivity of the copper, aluminum is very high. Okay, now our next property is the fatigue. Now what is the meaning of fatigue? When we apply continuous compression and continuous tension over the any element, then after a certain time the failure of the element is occur. That is known as the fatigue failure. Okay, so we can say that in the fatigue what happens? A material that is fails at the stress below the yield point stress when it is subjected to the repeated tensile and the compressive stress. Okay, this type of the material failure is known as the fatigue or fatigue failure. Okay, so if we take one wire and if we continuously providing tensile and the compressive force over that wire, then ultimately after a certain time it will break. Okay, so this type of the failure is known as the fatigue failure. Okay, now our next property is the castability. Now what is the meaning of castability? Castability is the defined as the property of the material through which it can easily cast. Okay, so in the casting we know that first we melting the solid metal, then we pour it into the some pouring basin, and after that it will gain some shape of the pattern. So this is the simple procedure of the casting. So the material which can easily cast, that is known as the castability. Now what is the requirement for the good castability? So we can say that the solidification time or the solidification rate, the shrinkage, gas porosity, etc. are the important factor which directly affects the castability. Okay, now our last property is the machinability. Now what is the machinability? We can say that the property of the material through which can easily machine the any material, that is known as the machinability. So we can say that the ductile materials having the generally high machinability. Okay, so we can easily cut that material, or we can easily roll that material, or we can easily going to surface finish that material. So that type of the ability is known as the machinability. Okay, so in this lecture we have start our 13th chapter, that is the important engineering material, and in this lecture we have discussed about the classification of the engineering material, and then we have discussed about the important engineering material property. Okay, and in that engineering material property we have discussed about the hardness, brittleness, ductility, malleability, toughness, resilience. What is the difference between the toughness and resilience? What is the difference between the malleability and the ductility? All that we have discussed. Okay, so this is what all about today's lecture. Thank you for today.